My son came home for Christmas. He also came to finish killing me. That's not something a father accepts to say, and yet when I look back now, that's exactly what it was. I am Gerald, 64 years old. I have spent the last 31 years on the same piece of land in Quaiba, 240 acres of field, trees, and long winters. I bought it with my wife, Laos. We worked every inch of it together. Liz died 8 years ago, cancer. She passed 2 weeks before the first snow fell that year. I remember standing by the barn when the snow finally came, watching it settle across the field. We built together. Since then, the land has not just been land to me. It's Liz. Selling it would feel like losing her twice. I have two children. My son Marcus is ambitious, always talking about property values, development, number. His wife Colette look at people the same way. She looks at houses, marrying, calculating. My daughter Reina is different. She calls every Sunday. Sometimes she drives out just to sit on the porch with me, bringing jars of preserves she made herself. Then in November, Marcus called. His wife had the particular warmth he only used when he wants something. He said they wanted to spend Christmas at the farm. And beneath his words, there was a silence. I should have listened to the silence. Then I found in the barn floor, and then I found in the pills, and that when I understood what kind of Christmas this was going to be. The barn sits about 50 yards behind the house, old wood, tall roof, the kind that cracks even when there's no wind. I have claimed that ladder to the loft 1,000 times over the years, but that morning something felt wrong. A few of the loft boards had been worked loose, not broken, not chipped by animals, worked loose, carefully, one after another. If someone stepped there in the dark, the boards would give way. The drop from the loft to the stone floor below is about 4 meters, enough to break bones, maybe worse. I stood there for a long time, looking at the gap. Then I put the boards back, slowly, quietly, telling myself it was nothing. But something cold had already started forming in my chest. 2 days later, I noticed the pills. I keep a big bottle in the mud room cabinet. Blood pressure, medication, same kind I have taken for years. I opened the new bottle one morning and did not think much about it. But the pills looked slightly different. The coating was a little darker. I told myself the pharmacy probably changed suppliers. Then 2 mornings later, the nausea started. Diseases too, the kind where the room settles slowly like the floor is sliding away from you. I called my pharmacist Gaston and asked a few careful questions, but I did not bring the bottle to him. Instead, I hid it behind a row of books in the living room. Something in my gut told me to keep it. The next 48 hours were the longest of my life. Not anger, not panic, just a cold, specific grief. The same place in my chest where losing love still lived. I kept asking myself one question: when did I become a problem to be solved? Finally, I called Rani. I did not tell her everything. I just said, "Come early." She heard what I did not say. She asked no question. She just came. We went to the barn together. I showed her the boards. She stepped carefully onto the support and fell into shift under her bout. She looked at me, calm and steady. Okay, she said, higher. What we are going to do? The next afternoon, Sergeant Bowman arrived. Quiet woman, sharp eyes. She took the pills bottle, walked through the barn and asked a few questions about Marcus, his works, his finance. She did not say much. Finally, I asked her one thing. Do you think I am safe? She paused before answering, and in that pause, I already knew the truth. I spent Christmas Eve assembling across the table at my son, pouring his wine, watching my grandchildren open gifts, and carrying all of it inside me. Rani made tortilla that night, Lao's recipe. She had memorized it years ago, step by step, because she knew how much it meant to me. The smell filled the whole kitchen, warm and familiar, like old Christmases. The table was full, laughter, plates clinking, the children talking all at once. At one point, Rani and I looked at each other across the table just once, That was enough. Later, Marcus began his carefully conversation, sitting by the fire holding a glass of wine. He started talking about conservancy groups, about protecting the land, about how selling could set me up comfortably, about how I might want to live closer to medical care. I listened quietly. Then I asked him how old he thought I was. He did not answer. A little while later, Rani texted me from the kitchen window. Marcus had walked out toward the barn. 20 minutes passed. When he came back inside, he brushed snow from his coat, just checking on the tractor. He said, I nodded. Thank you for checking. By morning, the test result on pills had arrived. Cardiac irregularities, slow damage, the kind of thing that would look like a man's employee getting older. Sergeant Bowman sent one short message. What you did was exactly right. Christmas morning came early. The kids were awake before 6, tearing open wrapping paper in the living room. Marcus walked into the kitchen wearing a bright red Christmas sweater. Then he saw Sergeant Bowman. The color left his face in a single moment, like someone had switched off a light. I stood at the window, looking out at the apple trees while voice filled the room behind me. Thomas looked back from the police car window as they drove away. He raised one small hand. Outside, the apple trees stood bare and patient, waiting for spring. They always come back. Love is not measured by genetics. It's measured by what someone is willing to do for you and what they are unwilling to do you. I have apple trees that bloom every May and a daughter who calls every Sunday. That's enough. That's everything.